Yeah, so all of these characteristics and problems kind of move into another concept that'll kind of come up later. I'll just mention it. There's a lot of text here. You could read the book that's listed if you want. It's actually a pretty good book that talks about all of the problems and how capitalism is intertwined with something that we call the state, which is this political, socio-cultural, economic entity. It's kind of an abstract thing that we all kind of uphold by participating in it, by living in it. Um, However, once it's established, it wants totality over everything. Everything has to go through the state, in the sense of everything has to be legal. You got to have your contracts and permissions and things like that. And through various regulatory means, the state essentially upholds capitalism, and you find that there's a very strong connection between the two, and exactly what that is up for some debate that we'll talk about. But there's a very strong connection between the two, where you see a lot of play with the state, which you can kind of think about as government. They're a little bit different, but government and capitalism go together, right? All of our politicians make it very clear when they take money from corporations and all, like, who they're listening to, right? They're listening to the capitalist investors. They're not listening to labor and workers and the rest of us. So I don't want to get too far into that because there's more to say later. I think the main point of this slide, though, is that those characteristics of capitalism and those problems and all, through the state, through government, become systematized. They become structured. They become an institutionalized. There you go. That's the good word. And once they've become institutionalized, it makes it much harder to change, because now you kind of have this resistance of, well, that's the way things always worked. Why would you want to change that? And and they can use forces and power against you if you want to change those things. So what we're really looking at is a structural problem now built around these characteristics, and it's out of the hands of individuals anymore. It's a structural, society-wide problem.